I will. Hello, everybody, and welcome to MangaPod! We are a weekly podcast in which we all get together after we've read all or part of a manga, and then we discuss it with friendship, love, and lots of spoilers. This week, we read Sweetness and Lightning, chapters 1 through 33. I am Erin of Happily Erin, your host, and with me are two of my three lovely co-hosts, as well as a very special guest. So, if you want to go around and introduce yourselves, starting with Dodger.
Hi, everybody. I'm Dodger, and I'm excited to talk about Sweetness and Lightning. So excited.
Ooh!
Feel it. I'm in it. Let's do it.
Hi. My name is Lou. I'm from Lou Talks Anime. And I'm also very hyped. But I'm more hyped than anything. I'm hyped to be the bird god, Boon Boon god, which is way dirtier out of context.
I like that we have Poon Poon as your face during Sweetness and Lightning, which are two very different manga. Two very different
And Sea Bunny.
And Sea Bunny.
Sea Bunny Slug.
So quiet, Sea Bunny Slug.
Yeah.
And Mr. Gust.
Hi, I'm Arkada from Class Reflection. I do things on YouTube and I have lots of fun, so hopefully we have even more fun tonight.
Oh yeah!
Yeah.
MangaPod. Family fun as fuck.
Yes.
If you've never joined us for MangaPod before, what we like to do is give you a short, spoiler-free description of the manga that we read, aka summary, that will be read by our lovely guest, and then we'll give you our spoiler-free recommendations, whether we think you should spend time reading this manga or not. That way, if you are interested in it and do not want to be spoiled when we get to spoiler section, you can take your leave when we get there and go read it, and then come back and watch the VOD of this on my YouTube channel. Whatever that is. YouTube.com/Happily There it is. There we go.
Whatever that is?
Whatever that is.
So professional, Erin.
I know. Welcome to MangaPod. Let's go ahead and do our special description. Whatever, Go ahead.
Okay, we're gonna be reading, well, we've already read, but we're gonna be talking about Sweetness and Lightning, and this is the description from Crunchyroll because Crunchyroll is better than Mal for the sake of tonight. Having lost his wife, math teacher Kohei Izuka is doing his best to raise his young daughter. I don't know why I said bother. That was not right at all. His young daughter Tsugumi as a single father. He's pretty bad at cooking and doesn't have a huge appetite to begin with, but chance brings his family and one of his students, Kotori Ida, together for homemade adventures. With those three cooks in the kitchen, it's no wonder that this dinner table drama is so delicious. I apologize for the poorly pronounced names. Horrible.
So delicious. Awesome, thank you so much.
Scrumptious, you might say.
Yep.
Yes.
Just so everybody knows, because there's a few people asking, Lou is here. His camera is just not working, but he is here.
He is here.
I am the bird god.
Bird God is here.
Bird God is here.
Bird is totally here. He's here in spirit form as a wonderful bunny slug.
He's
Bunny
transformed into a bunny slug, and they can't talk, but guess what? They have, they're hermaphroditic, so he could, be having a baby right now. You're welcome for that knowledge. Anyways.
Spoiler-free recommendations on that note. Speaking of babies.
Sweetness
Lightning.
I am totally down to give my spoiler-free recommendation first.
Hit it!
It is so cute. Such a heartwarming, wonderful manga that talks about food a lot, which I'm always super into, but, even though there's lots of great food stuff in this, that's not even the highlight for me. The highlight is definitely the relationships. The highlight is just, this adorable story about, a single dad and his daughter. And I loved it. The whole time I was reading it, I kept looking at Sam and being like, this manga is so cute! And he'd be like, but it is. So, absolutely go and read it. I highly recommend it.
I want to go next.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah, this manga is basically my life.
Oh,
It is a very accurate depiction of my life. I am the guy, and the weebling, which is, if you don't follow me on Twitter, you don't know who the weebling is. The weebling is my daughter, and I refer to her as such. And yeah, she is very much Lightning. Not gonna lie, she's a movie for sure. And Yeah, it was a very emotional experience to read through it. And yeah, I recommend it a lot. If you're interested in my life, go read it.
When I was reading it, I thought about you a lot. I was like, I bet this is what Lou goes through.
Aw.
Yep.
I was like, oh. I agree with Lou. I think it. Well, and Dodger, just agreeing with Lou on the
Not me.
daughter part. As a parent, there was a very emotional read at a lot of parts. But it's just a very sweet slice of life story. And if you enjoy food, and if you enjoy slice of life, you enjoy fluffy feelings, this is one that you should definitely go and read. It's really easy. It handles some heavier stuff really well and sweetly as well. So I think you should definitely go and check it out if you're looking for a slice of life cute thing just to kind of read and decompress with.
Well, on my end, I obviously like it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have suggested it.
Yes, that's
Because
true.
I'm not
You
sure
did
what was
suggest it.
originally supposed to be.
No
this
Game,
week.
No Life was originally what we were going to be reading.
Right. But we switched it to this, and I recommend
I'm
it
super
heavily.
cool with it.
I'm okay with
However, I do have one very interesting criticism and more of a recommendation. Don't read this when you're hungry.
it. That's true.
Ever.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, so true.
As somebody who's dieting, I was very interested in most of this manga. I was just like, oh, this sounds so good. Yeah, I agree.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there is our spoiler-free recommendations. We all think you should go and check it out for sure. So if you do not want to be spoiled, now's the time to take your leave. For everybody, I think there's only 33 chapters of this out. So I think we read
Only.
everything. Oh, only.
It takes you a while.
It is.
It does,
It is longer
but-
chapters than I thought they were going to be 19 pages, but they're 40 pages, I think, each
Yeah,
one. So they're a little bit
45 or
longer chapters. But just for the sake of letting you guys know that we read everything, but do be careful in chat if spoilers if there is any other chapters out, because I'm not sure if there's any that are in Japanese that have been translated yet that are out. So
Or that it's
usual
been
room-
translated but not officially translated by
yeah,
Crunchyroll. or
exactly.
something.
So
I never
'cause
looked that up.
Yeah, because this is available on Crunchyroll for anybody who wants to go and read it legally. So just for the sake of what we always say, please do not post any spoilers in the chat. Please do not post any fake spoilers in the chat either. That would be really, really great of you to do that. People who post spoilers are called rotten bacon butts, and that's not something that's really good. Not yummy. Not yummy at all. So let's go
Not
ahead and do our spoiler section countdown. Yay!
I have my hands on a kitty, so somebody else has to do the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4,
3, 2, 1.
3. No.
Too
2,
fast. Too fast.
1.
Food is God.
Food is scotch.
Okay, yeah. Why not?
Why not? All right, let's do the question that we usually start with. What are your expectations before going into this manga?
I don't really have any because I'm the one that suggested it, so
Yeah, did you read?
I-
Did you read it before? Have you already read it, or did?
I read, I think, all of it. If I'm remembering, because I reread all of it today. And
Yeah.
Crunchyroll has this really weird thing where if you go back to a chapter you've already read, it puts you on the last page, which is really annoying. So I had to backtrack the whole thing. But I think it was the last 5 or 6 chapters I hadn't read. But everything else before that I had because I've been fairly caught up with it. But if I'm remembering correctly, when I first started watching it, I thought it was going to be kind of a cross between the food parts of Food Wars and the more family slice of life of a series called Usagi Drop, or Bunny Drop, depending on English or Japanese. So that's what I was expecting. That's kind of exactly what I got, and I loved it.
Yeah, for me, I have never ever heard of Sweetness and Lightning, and I didn't read a summary. I just dove in. So because of the name Sweetness and Lightning, I was like, this will probably have something to do with magic, or I don't know. I was just like, I'll just go into it and see what it is, and it wound up being.
I only ended up reading it because I think it was the first time that I read the first volume that Crunchyroll had. It's because I was like, oh, Crunchyroll's doing manga now. I guess I'll check one out. This looks cool. Click.
and then you were like, oh, it's actually
It's
good.
actually pretty good.
Yeah, I expected like straight up shoujo magical something, and then it wound up being super adorable slice of life with food, and I was like, this is better. This is way better than I thought I was.
There is a little bit of magical girl in there because there's the show within the manga kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
That is true. Magic Girl.
Magic Girl.
Magic Girl.
Very original title.
Yes, the original
Magic
title,
Girl.
Magic Girl.
And the sheep.
The
Don't
sheep.
forget the sheep.
Ah, the
Gally
chapter-
Gally.
The
Was
The
that
chapter
its
where
name?
she dressed up
Believe
like
so,
the
yeah.
sheep was so cute.
Ah, so cute.
So cute.
Lou,
Um,
what were your expectations?
My expectations were I expected something a little bit more off the walls and bombastic. I mean, with lightning in the title,
Mm-hmm.
and just I know how small children are and how energetic they can be. So I guess based off of life experiences, I was expecting something a little bit more different because my child is definitely a lightning type of character. She's all over the place all the time. In a good type of way. Like she likes to get into things. And yeah, as I started making my way through the read, it was a little bit more subdued than I expected, but I am totally okay with that. Because I think the fact that it wasn't an over the top read made the characters that much more endearing.
Absolutely, I totally agree.
Yeah.
Aaron, what were your expectations?
Well, I read the summary, so I expected the summary. But I didn't like.
Good place to start.
I expected it like Lou, like you were saying. I expected it to be a little bit more crazy and over the top, and I also, despite like it talking about food, I didn't expect food to be so heavily involved. I guess if that makes sense. Like I didn't expect every lesson to be tied to food. I thought, oh, okay, sometimes they make food and then the story will kind of branch off from there. But they kept it very centered as much on the food as they did on the relationships, and I actually really
Also,
liked
basically
that.
a cookbook.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
want to make everything that's in this. And
Me
they
too.
give you the ingredients.
Except I can't make
like-
half of it because I can't get most of the Asian ingredients.
I know,
which
that's
is-
true. And I don't have a scale, so I don't measure in grams. I'm sure I could convert it.
Yeah, that was the other
But,
problem, yeah. Or CC.
The CC.
Some of the measurements are in CC, and I was
Yeah,
like, well,
I was like-
that's weird.
Like, what's a cup? Is that 2 cups?
Is that a cuppy cup?
A cup within
Is that
a
what
cup?
CC is?
Yeah, so I was expecting a little bit less food, but I really like how they did it and how it played out with the stories being ingrained with the food. I ended up really enjoying that.
Yeah, there was such a genuine, I don't know, softness to the whole thing. Like they tackled some really serious stuff in it.
Yeah.
In a way where I think, like Lou was saying, like because the whole thing had more of kind of a grounded, genuine feel to it. When they did talk about those serious things, it felt very real. I don't know.
Felt very honest.
Yeah.
There's also just a lot of good parenting in it as well. Like when they went to the festival, and then she ran off on her own, and then he was freaking the hell out, and then he kind of snapped at her when he finally found her, and then she cried and everything, and was just like, yeah, she shouldn't have done that. And he could have been like, okay, well now I found you, let's continue to have fun. But it was like, no, you go home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He did the dad thing. I was like taking notes. I was like, okay, I like how this parenting. I'll take a note on this.
I actually read that chapter to my daughter. Because a very similar thing happened not too long ago where we were going to the mall and she wanted to run off by herself. And yeah, I had a very similar reaction. And I'm like, look, this is why it happened. Because I think after that happens in the manga, he more or less explains why he had to raise his voice to her. So yeah.
Yeah, and
it was a very anxious experience for me reading that section.
Yeah, oh gosh. I can only imagine.
And then even worse when he got sick and she went out.
And she left.
Oh my gosh, I was terrified. I was like, no!
I love, because like, up until, if I'm remembering it right, like up until then, it all kind of felt like a little bit one-shotty each chapter, and so then I really liked seeing the like discipline chapter from the festival just kind of like be a lesson that she took in, and you can see it replaying in her mind it impacting her decisions later on.
Yeah.
Which I really, like, up until that point I wasn't expecting, so to see that I really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that chapter was so sweet. And then, like, later on when he sends her out on her errand by herself.
Oh my
and
gosh,
everybody's
and, like,
like,
everybody's like shadowing her to make sure she's okay.
And then she breaks her wrists.
I know, I was like, no!
Poor thing.
No, I see. The thing is, I laughed when I realized that she fell. I was just, oh, it's adorable. She fell, and
Yeah.
the croquettes.
Because
that
everything
she's
she does
sharing
is just cute and adorable.
Exactly. And then she has a broken arm, and I felt so guilty for laughing.
Well, that's the thing. You're supposed to, like, if they fall, you're supposed to, like, laugh. This is what I'm hearing. All the parenting advice I'm getting randomly is, like,
I've
if
heard
they
that
fall,
before, too.
you're supposed to chuckle because they'll look at you, and, like, however you react is how they'll end up reacting. And so I'm like, oh, okay, I laughed too, Lou. And then she was actually hurt, and I went, oh, dear.
Yeah, because isn't it supposed to be that, like, if every time they fall, you're like, oh no, then they'll react, like, overly negatively when they fall, even if nothing's wrong.
They'll think that they're supposed to be hurt and upset, even if they're really not that hurt. Then they're just like, oh, this is terrible, this is horrible, everyone's reacting like this is the end of the world, I'm dying. And so then they'll react like that. But if
that
you're
reminds
like,
me of a very poor plot line in Sailor Moon R.
Which one? I'm trying to remember.
That was the whole Wicked Lady arc.
Oh,
In the very poor first English dub, they explain the reason why Rini becomes Wicked Lady is because at some point she fell down and her parents were like, "No, you can get up on your own."
Yes.
And that pissed her off. So she turned evil. It was really dumb. I'm not sure. I'd never actually watched Japanese videos episodes, so I don't know how badly that was translated.
She's gonna turn into an evil lady.
She's gonna be Dark Sumi.
Oh god, yeah. There was just, like you're saying, lots of good parenting, and I really loved watching the dad come into his role as a dad, because at the beginning it's very raw, like the death of his wife and Sugumi's mom. It's very raw, like she's just recently passed away, and so they're kind of trying to figure out like this whole new dynamic between them. And seeing him go from really like anxious and kind of clumsy and grow into this father figure with like really like going out of his way to learn how to feed her so that she'll be happy, and there's constantly thinking about her and then scolding her. So you see him become more of a dad while also kind of growing more confident both in himself and as a father. So that was that you don't ever really get to see that kind of a journey in anime or manga, and so it was handled really well here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love moments when he realizes things, like the whole situation with her being upset that he scolded her and him being like, I don't like scolding you, like I don't like being mad, and she's like, you don't? He's like, no. but when you think about it, you're like, oh, that's not something that a kid would know, really.
Yeah.
You know, like your kid doesn't necessarily know that you don't enjoy scolding them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like
You're too focused on the scolding itself.
Yeah. It's just interesting things like that, like some of the child psychology and like the moments when they decided to be really honest with her versus just like engaging in like kind of childhood fantasy things was also interesting. Like everything having to do with her mom and her kind of like seeking out oh shoot, what was the high school girl's name?
Kokuri-chan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, no, that's correct. Even though I don't remember names, I just read them. So then when I read the names, I'm like, oh, that person. But then I was like, I can't remember.
Kotori.
Yeah, and like their moments of her being like kind of this older female figure were good. Yeah.
A mother figure, as it were.
Yeah, but she was a high school student, which made shipping them really fucking weird.
I had a lot of up and down feelings.
It's a lot better than what I'm used to, because I read the manga for Usagi Drop, and
yes.
No,
let's
didn't
not
happen.
spoil
That was
what
in the original.
happens for anybody. Or here, you can use their spoiler finger if you would like to discuss the ending of.
No, let's not talk about Usagi Drop, guys.
Yeah, no, we're good. It's better not to talk about the manga for that, and just be like, if you're interested, go watch the anime and leave it at that. Stop.
I mean, For me, it made me feel like better about it just being like, in Japan, she's like, it's fine. Like,
Yeah.
aside from the fact that he's a teacher and she's a student, right?
Yeah,
like
which
in
is
terms of their
something
ages,
they're very respectful
it's
of
fine
the
in
entire-
Japan. Yeah, and also, yeah, I loved that there was that whole scene with her talking with her friend and being like, look, at the beginning, yeah, it was entirely just me being like, oh, I have a crush on my teacher and that's weird, but now they're just very important people in my life, and that's like way more important to me is like them being happy, you know?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's so sweet, because you definitely see that, right? Like you see at the beginning her like blushing all the time and being like, oh, he's so dreamy. And then like the
that.
further in that you get, it's more just like, you know, they're all just important pieces in each other's life and they all love being with each other. And
Mhm.
yeah, I really liked that moment.
The joy
later
of
on
cooking.
reading.
Yeah.
It
Cooking
brings
brought 'em all
people
together.
together. Yeah. That was something at the start. I was very like, ooh, how do I feel about their relationship? I want them to just be like friends. But I also really like how the teacher brings it up to another teacher at the school where he's like, is this weird? Am I going to get in trouble for this? So it wasn't any of this really awkward, like, hiding, even though they do numerous times be like, oh, we can't be seen together. Like, she doesn't go up to the door when Tsugumi comes to her when he's sick. Like, she doesn't go up. She's like, this is as far as I can take you. So they are very consistent with that, but there's none of this
meet
really
in the
like
restaurant. They don't meet in like other places.
yeah,
generally
she
speaking.
doesn't go to his like their apartment or anything like that, and so it's
Unless it's like the only time that they're together in those situations is if there's a big group.
yeah, there's a bunch.
They're not
of people.
alone in those situations.
So it's never this awkward like, and there's no real build up around it. There's no tension around it, which is nice because you're not just
It's
like
mostly
oh.
one-sided,
Yeah.
if it exists at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is very nice because they didn't try to constantly push it, which only would have made it more awkward.
Yeah, absolutely. And I did like that even in a moment that seemed like it was going to lead to drama, when everybody was over at Kotori's house and the ladies were like, "Ooh, I wonder if, you know, if he's like meeting up with her mother, if that's why we're all here."
Yeah.
You know, that whole thing, and she like felt weird about that.
Maybe that's why the mom's busy all the time.
Yeah, but it didn't, you know, it was just a moment. It was a moment that I remember. Like it was there, and they, I think, gave it the perfect amount of time existing. You know,
Yeah.
It didn't turn into like a big dramatic thing at all.
Yeah, that's the thing. They never like lingered on that too much, like, which is a very like realistic. It wasn't like, here we're gonna force all this soap opera drama in your face. It's like, no, that's not what this manga is about. This manga is about the forging of relationships and the growth between them, brought together by food.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah. What was your
They
guys'?
didn't always ignore the soap opera things either, because that wouldn't
No.
be unrealistic either. They brought it up in ways that just kind of made sense, and then they're like, okay, here it is. There it is. You can see it. Everybody can see it, right? Okay, we're done.
Okay,
Yeah.
great, and close.
And scene.
Yeah.
Going back to Dodger, what you were saying about the child's psychology in this, it's very interesting how they were really able to get into the mindset of a child with Tsugumi. I really liked that versus the dad. So it's like these two very different mindset, like just because they're in different parts of their life and stuff, but seeing them so different but really fleshed out, both of them, I was really fascinated by that writing because, I don't know, it's hard to handle one, and to have like the other be very realistic was very impressive to me.
I would go even a step further and say that basically every character in this story has a very developed personality and very unique, each from one another.
Yeah.
I mean, even the side characters like Yagi or Kotori's
I like
friends.
Yagi.
And, Yagi's pretty badass.
I love that character type so much.
Like,
Just like no fuss,
with-
cigarette,
Yeah.
not cigar, whatever.
I wish.
Works
I
at a
just always had a huge
No, he works at a
Stosie.
bar.
Works at a bar,
specifically
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, but with the exception of like maybe a couple of the teachers at the school, which I mean they're only in a couple panels per chapter tops. Yeah, they're all pretty fleshed out pretty well, and I really enjoyed them all. I really have no characters that I didn't like.
Yeah, I can't really think of any character that was like, "You're annoying, get out, you're ruining this for me."
Yeah,
I think a couple of the
expected-
kids might be the closest that it came to.
But they're kids.
Yeah.
They're
Dicks
babies.
at times.
Oh my god, I love
Babies can be
Side-
dicks. That's true.
Holy crap, her birthday when the two boys showed up because like one's from her normal classroom and one's from her art class and they were instantly like, I don't like you.
And then the mom jokes about marriage when she comes down with the dress.
Yeah,
And it's like,
and he's
"Oh."
just like, I
And the
don't
other
want to
kid is
think
just
about
like-
that. Which is such a parent thought. David has that thought all the time. Like, I put Kaylee in a dress, and David's like, she's going to get married one day, isn't she? And I was like, yes, she is. He's just like, I don't want to think about it. So you got a while.
Yeah, she's not even a year old. You're fine.
Yeah, you're fine. So cute. Oh, it's just so cute. So
Yeah.
sweet.
But the one character that I thought the manga was going to very stereotypically make me not like very much was Kotori's mom.
Mm.
Yeah.
And even her, like, she had enough fleshing out and moments where we got to kind of like see the choices that she's making in her life that I was like, I get it. Like even if it's still really disappointing in those moments where she's like, I can't make it, you know.
Yeah, I was surprised they like really gave her a character at all because the first couple of times she's mentioned, I was like, oh, she's just going to be that mom. It's
Yeah.
like the
That
parent
mom
that we know
never
exists, who has a place in existence, but you never see her.
Mhm.
And then she
Anime
actually
mom.
showed up a bunch of times, and I'm like, oh, cool.
Yeah.
Sailor outfit on TV. Good. Good
Yeah.
start. Good intro. Like it. Like it
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt so bad for Kotori. Every time her mom was like, sorry, I have a
Yeah.
thing. I was like, oh, but it's like, I really like seeing her get that hole kind of filled with the dad and the daughter. Like them coming
Yeah.
over, like that loneliness was like swept
They
away.
kind of found family with each
Yeah.
other.
Something I was expecting to happen more was them fucking up. Like, I was expecting them to, like,
Oh,
mess
messing
up
food?
way more
Me
often.
too.
Like,
Yeah.
every
Every
time
time
they
they
took a
made
bite
something, they
after
were like,
making
"Oh, it's
something,
so good."
and they paused, I was like, oh, it's gonna be shit. And then they were just like, oh, it's so good! And I was
Because if they
never-
kept screwing up, it couldn't be an actual cookbook with things.
I know.
So when they
but-
screw up, it's like the small section in one page where one of them tried to do something on their own and they
Yeah.
screwed up.
Yeah.
Oh, I
See,
tried
I
this.
think that
Oh no.
I think the way they rationalize it is the fact that Kotori does know how to cook. She just
Yeah.
can't use a knife.
But at the
Beginning,
Either
she
that
said
or
she
it's like
couldn't.
they're all like parts cook, and then their powers combined, I am Captain Cook.
Yeah,
or
because
something.
in the very beginning, Kotori was like, I don't even know how to make rice, Mom.
Yeah.
Mom, help. I don't know what
Yeah.
to do. Like, yeah, I definitely expected them to mess up more. And I think the only time they even reference messing up is when the dad was like, oh, I tried to make that thing that one time, but it didn't turn out very well. Oh, well. And then
Yeah.
they moved on. And I was like, oh, I guess sometimes
there
when
was
we're
one
not
time
in
he
a
like
chapter.
tried to cook
Yeah.
eggs or something, and it didn't work right.
Yeah.
And then one
Oh,
time,
yeah,
Tori
he
was
tried to
over
make a
and she was
renegade.
making rice. I can't remember why they weren't with her at the time. No, it was because Sugami was really mad or upset about something, and then the dad went to go talk to her, and then Kotori was cooking rice, and then when Kotori tried to listen
burnt
in
it.
on the cute little moment, she left the food on and it burnt part of the rice.
Yeah.
So that was a mistake.
And then didn't they make something out of that, though?
Yeah,
they
Yeah.
they're
made
like,
it.
oh, it's
'cause then
hard,
they
but
cooked
we
it-
can make
They put
this
it on
instead.
sticks
Yeah.
and like roasted it. And
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
like, I don't know what that is, but I want.
want it.
I want to try it.
Yeah. Yeah, I constantly was thinking, man, I really want to eat that right now.
The only times I think I didn't think that were like the time that they cooked squid and Sugami had like that introspection moment, just looking into the squid's
Oh
eyes,
my
where it was
God.
like
Oh my god.
traveling to another
I
dimension.
thought that she was going to have a moment where she was like, I don't want to eat the squid anymore. But she was just like, no, I'm good. I just need to not look at its eyeballs.
Yeah, that reminded me of all, like, recently, I don't know what's been going on, but Reddit for some reason has gotten obsessed with these squid gifs, squid video, where, like, apparently there's a dish where you
Ow.
put a squid,
Not like a year ago when Splatoon came out or anything.
I know. You think that would have made more sense, but like it's this Japanese dish where you pour soy sauce onto a squid or octopus, and it like does this whole thing. It freaks me out. So the whole squid chapter, I was just like, I don't want to read it. I want to be done. I want to be done with this chapter. So the little eyes. Oh, eyes.
I
Fish
guess
eyes
like
just creep me
also
out.
this will creep you out more, I think. Maybe.
Oh, good. Thanks.
I guess like if you eat it while it's doing that, it'll also suction to your throat
Yeah.
a little bit while it's
Yeah.
going down, which that's the part that weirds me out. I'm like, I could probably convince myself to eat something that's still moving because I know that it's not actually alive. But like, if I was trying to swallow it and it was like sucking to my
Is
neck,
it actually dead?
Yeah, it makes you wonder.
I don't know, man.
Makes you wonder.
Yeah.
I want to try that.
There
It's
was
moving.
an episode of
It's
I'm
bleeding.
down.
Lou's like, I'm in.
Whatevs.
I would be not at the table with that. I would be so scared. I'd be hiding.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't eat it. I have a hard enough time dealing with sushi in general as it is, so.
Yeah. Oh, I guess I couldn't eat it. I'm allergic to fish, so it'd kill me.
Yeah.
It'd kill me anyway.
Oh, by the way, I'm allergic to fish.
I probably shouldn't be eating this.
I probably should never have any of that.
What were your guys' favorite, like, food moments? Like, what was your favorite recipe that they made in the lesson
Salisbury
that went
steak.
along with it? The Salisbury steak.
Probably the Salisbury steak.
I love, and I don't know if this answers your question, but I loved the whole spaghetti carbonara
Yes.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Like,
that was
I
my
loved
favorite.
her not knowing what it was called, lying about it, lying and saying that she's had it before, not knowing what it was called, so he's like trying to figure out what it is that she wants to eat,
Yeah.
and then them like learning how to make it, and her taking a picture like, all right, now there's proof that I've eaten it. You know, like I thought that whole thing was really funny.
And I like
Because
that she was like, I lied, so I need to make it true. And I was like, what a very childlike mindset.
Yeah.
No, but the best part about that though, what you guys are leaving out, is the payoff, where the child that she was trying
Totally
to
forgot about
exactly.
Yeah.
That was the best part of that chapter.
Like, I'm sorry I lied, but I ate it. See? And the little kid's like, what?
Yeah, she was like, huh? That, I also like the okonomiyaki chapter.
Mm.
I don't like that one.
Why
It's
are we
more
talking
so
about
because moody child is not something I want to deal with.
You're
Yeah.
like,
food? Alright, yeah.
I thought
Yeah,
it
them
was
like
cute.
trying to go out and eat for once.
And then her just being like, ah!
Yeah, it's like not satisfying at all.
No.
It's like, oh, we're gonna go and cook our own food and it's gonna be great. And then, to be fair, they were sitting at a table that had like the thing in the middle of it where you normally would cook food, and then all the food was pre-prepared. I was like, that's a little odd.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah.
Man,
so-
it made me want okonomiyaki real bad, though. Oh, real bad. Oh, I just wanted all of it.
every
And
time I
mochi.
did, so- Oh, I love miso soup. So
Oh,
much.
miso soup. It's so good. Oh gosh, dang it! What was I? I was gonna say something. I don't know. Let's talk about art. Let's touch on the art.
I love the art. I think it's so cute.
I think it's adorable.
Yep.
No, I agree. I think it's super adorable. It fits it really well. And it's like, but it's detailed too. It's not just like blah, like overly cute. Like it has detail.
But the
in it
times
that
where
you're
it's not
able to,
detailed, like when they're in the
understand.
background and so forth, and facial expressions. Oh,
Yeah,
I
the
love
facial
great.
expressions are great.
Specifically on Tsugumi.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Great.
especially whenever she took a picture.
Mm.
Yeah.
She always had
Yes.
a derpy little face on it. It was pretty cool.
So cute. Her hair is fabulous.
Yes.
Dude, yeah. I was like, dang, that hair is thick. Like, it's huge.
Thick and
What
large.
surprised me, because I kind of never noticed the promo material, when I looked at the color chapter, for some reason I had it in my head that she was blonde.
I did too. It
Me
threw you
too,
off guard,
yeah.
right? When she was
Yeah.
brunette, I was like, wait, what? Who's that?
Well, she can't be like pure blonde because she's not a foreigner.
That's true.
And Yagi is.
No, Yagi falls into the people that dye their hair blonde to make it
Yeah.
cool.
I figured he was like hooligan status, quote
Yeah.
quote,
Yeah.
Okay.
because he
all right,
works
I'll
at a
give you that.
bar and smokes all the time and whatever
Yeah.
else. But yeah, I expected them to like, I don't know, not that it would need a reveal, but I expected them to at some point mention like that maybe her mom was from somewhere else or something like
Yeah.
that, but nope. She's just got brown hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, her mom
Like
kind
brown?
of got the treatment that Kotori did, or Kotori's mom's did. Though to be fair, she's not alive anymore, so it's not like
Yeah.
she can be there. And I did appreciate the flashbacks we did get; those were nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that
So,
they
yeah.
like touch on the part where they go visit the dead mom's parents was really sweet.
I liked that a lot. Yeah. I thought that was so sweet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the whole part with her hanging out with her great grandmother
Yeah.
like really touched my heart because that was one of those moments where they referenced something that had happened a lot, where like throughout the entire manga up to that point she kept saying, "Yeah, Daddy told me that when I get old I can see Mommy." And I loved that she brought that up with her great-grandmother, and her great-grandmother, you know, basically told her, like, well, you need to, don't be in a hurry to grow up. You know, you need to enjoy your life and really live it. And I was like, oh.
Yeah. I like.
And also, it made me laugh because my grandmother used to tell me that my skin was smooth all the time. And so the great grandmother just kept being like, "Your face is so smooth." I was like, "Oh my god, that's like my Nana." My Nana totally used to do that.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like going back to the art. I really liked all of the character designs a lot. I thought they were all fitting for who they were. There was none that felt really bizarre for their like personality or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I liked Yagi a lot. I just love that character design.
Yagi was
so
cool.
much. Yeah.
Twin Tails was nice.
The kid
I hated
designs
the
were
designs
also
of the food because it just looked too damn
just
good.
looked too yummy. The kid designs were really good too. Like the designs of all of her classmates. There weren't any that I was like, are you that same kid that was over there? No, you're not the same kid. What? Who are what? They were all very varied. Very, very, very varied.
Very
even
varied.
from like her preschool to her art school. Those were
Yeah.
like, different too. And I liked talking about the art school. I really enjoyed her having that moment of anxiety about being like, I don't know what I'm like. All these other kids are doing these things, and I'm supposed to do these things, but I don't know what I want to do. And then they
And the
go.
one page that they went to the ballet class.
They went to the ballet, and the teacher's
Oh my
just
God,
like,
so
"Don't
funny.
cry in my classroom." I was like,
She was like,
"Wow."
Scary. Yeah. Yeah, and I like
He's
that.
just in the back going,
Yeah.
Not into this. Nah. Yeah, I loved that in that storyline we got her being like, "Oh, he's very busy," and then in the end deciding to tell him like, "I really want to do a thing. You know, I don't know what it is, but I want to do a thing." I was like,
yeah, he's like, "You can talk to me about that." It's
Yeah.
so sweet.
Because another one of these, but because when I was a kid, I remember taking karate, and I decided to stop doing karate specifically because I knew that it was like a time sink for my parents. So when they were like, "Do you want to sign up for karate again?" I was like, "No, it's okay. I don't want to do it anymore." Like I remember having that moment of being like, they're, you know, I'm taking up their nights, like, and they could be home hanging out. So no, I'm good. I don't need to do karate anymore. You know.
It was a
Aww.
little different for me because I had judo as a kid, but anytime I went to judo, my dad was also there, and he was a black belt. So it
Oh,
wasn't so much
sick.
like we were taking it at a time. But the problem is, it's like I never was really good at it. I'm not good at like any sort of fighting or martial arts, so I was like stuck at white belt for like 3 years, and I was like, yeah, this just isn't working.
I'm gonna.
not.
I just.
Well, it also didn't help that like one or two times I for whatever reason I always got paired up with the higher level belts, and one time, which is kind of probably the reason why I stopped going entirely, there was this orange belt that was just a dick and threw me the wrong way and kind of threw out my back for like 2 weeks.
No.
That's
Yeah,
so
like there wasn't anything
mean.
permanent or anything, but it just hurt. And then my
Yeah.
dad was like, Okay, yeah, I guess this just isn't working, isn't it?
Aww.
Yeah.
That's sad.
I didn't have one of those things. I stayed home and played video games.
That's
Yeah.
what I did when I had bad
I
back.
just swam.
Right.
I just went in the pool and was free. Swam all over.
The pool was
lived out
free, you said.
So free.
Splash free.
Splash free. Let's go ahead. Does anybody else have anything they would like to touch on? Otherwise, we can wrap up and give our final thoughts and ratings.
Oh, I have one gripe that I've been meaning to say. I keep forgetting it.
Yeah.
Do it.
I kind of wish they would have done the recipes a little bit differently in terms of their placement in each chapter, because it very formulaic. Like I
Yeah.
felt like I was reading the same chapter over and over again because.
Oh, you mean like how it was set up, where it was like, here's the intro bit of the story. Oh, this is the recipe. Let's make the recipe, and then here's the end, and then they actually had the full recipe at the end. That sort of
Yeah.
thing?
Here's the sequence where we chop stuff.
Yeah. Here's like
Yeah.
the beginning of this
Here's
lesson.
where we remind you
Here's
how
the
everybody
end of
hates
the
knives.
lesson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's where she hates knives. Oh
Yeah.
man, the whole chapter
Here's where I
she
drink
like
the. No, that's.
learned, where she learned how to use the knife, and she was so proud of herself.
Yeah.
Aw.
Then her
She
dad.
cut like one thing and was like,
knife
yay!
cut himself.
Yeah, and then the dad cut himself. Oh, poor guy. I was actually waiting for them to cut themselves, like somebody.
Oh yeah.
You knew it was gonna
Yeah.
happen somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah,
I'm
Lou,
surprised it took them as long to get to the kid knives as they did. I thought they would have rushed
Yeah.
it in a lot.
Yeah, that was like halfway through or something like that. It was pretty far in. But yeah, Lou, I totally understand like what you're saying. I think that there were times where it felt, oh, I like the exact same formula for the chapter. That's why when there was a chapter that didn't necessarily follow that, it was really nice. So I was like, oh, this doesn't feel like all of those other chapters. So yeah, I can agree with like the pacing on a lot of chapters felt very like, what's the word? Repetitive.
Monotonous.
Monotonous. Yeah.
As someone who didn't originally marathon the show, or not the show, the manga, it is a lot better when you don't just
Yeah.
read
Yeah, I'm sure
33
that's
chapters
true.
in a day.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot better when you do it at the release schedule that Crunchyroll has, which is freaking forever.
Oh no! What is it?
I think they started releasing it like over a year ago. It feels like that, and it's like every once in a while I just check up on it, and then it has a couple of extra chapters. I don't have a set time. I don't have like an alarm that says, "Oh, there's more coming out." I
Yeah.
just check in on it every once in a while. It's like what I do with webcomics. I just kind of let them build up, and then when I'm bored in the afternoon, I just read them.
Yeah.
So that worked out well.
Yeah. That makes sense. All right. Let's do final thoughts and ratings. Who would like to go first? I'm trying to think of my rating.
Yeah, I don't know what rating I want to give it.
Either.
I guess I'll go first. I have
Do
a
it.
number.
Yeah.
All right. But before I give my number, I have a number, but I have to
Yes,
lead
Bird
into
God?
it.
Yes, Brian.
Okay. This manga really resonated with me because, like I said, this is my life, just drawn in more ways than I've made public, which Aaron and Dodger are privy to some of them, and it was really difficult to get through because of how closely I related to the father and how much I saw of my daughter in Samugi. So it's I don't know. It was just an experience, and I really enjoyed it. And thank you, Arkada, for recommending it. I'm gonna give it a 9.
Yeah. Yeah, I had, this is something I didn't really talk about, but I had so many mama feels while I was reading this, just like thinking about my daughter growing up and like cooking with her and like the stuff that she's gonna go through in parenting and all of that, because I'm at the very start. I'm a few years behind Lou. But I was still just like thinking about that. So that just brought out a lot of like, sorry, Total Biscuit just commented in the chat.
ITV.
Bravo, TV.
Oh my god. Now,
Of all the
now we're
moments.
talking about our feels.
But yeah, it brought out a lot of mama feels. So
ITV.
there were a lot lot of chapters where I was like tearing up, and I think as a parent, I had a very like different experience than if somebody read it as not a parent, and so it made me enjoy it a lot more just because I could kind of like see myself and like as the parent and taking in the lessons and everything. I really liked that, and so and it's just so sweet and genuine and realistic, and food looks amazing and it's fun, and it just had all of these really great characteristics about it. I think it is hard to take in as a marathoning through it because it can get kind of repetitive and the chapters are pretty long. So I think I'll give it an 8.5. I think is what I'll give it. It's really good. I really enjoyed it, especially if you like slice of life stories.
Mm-hmm. Well, I really liked it mainly because it was just, for me, because I end up watching as much stuff as I do, and I usually find that to tend to be somewhat repetitive, because you constantly, for what I do, I end up constantly watching what's popular every season, and most of that is kind of samey to a degree. So, being able to just sit down and read something like this, that's like completely different from that, but it's just like this nice feel-good manga. Like at times it's not always feel good, but it leads into it, even at the times when it's not supposed to be. And I just really, really enjoyed that. Like the things I didn't like was again how good the food looked, because I generally ended up reading it when I was hungry, which did not help things at all. And the repetitiveness, as you guys have mentioned, that's another thing. So if I was to put a number to it, and I don't generally like numbers, but if I was, it'd probably be an 8.
Solid.
Frozen
Dodger, it's
solid.
your time. Dodger, it's your time. Frozen solid.
I wanted to give it a 9. I think I'm still going to. I really appreciate when manga can make me think about really important stuff while like also kind of warming my heart and just feeling really genuine and wonderful. And the whole time that I was reading this manga, I was like, this is just such a sweet, wonderful story. You know? I had so many moments where I felt really like emotional and just attached to everyone. And I just loved how pure it was. I don't know how else to put it, but there was just something very soft and sweet that really resonated with me. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a 9.
Awesome. Well, there you go. We all highly recommend this manga, especially if you like slice of life, and if you like food, you know what? Just go and read it. If you don't like those things, you should just read it anyway because it's really sweet.
Yeah.
And you'll like it. You'll like it, I'm sure. And like we said, if you want to read it, it is available legally on Crunchyroll. You can go check it out. Sweetness and Lightning. But that wraps up our discussion of this manga. So I'm going to read the description for the manga that we're reading next week, and then y'all in chat get to guess what it is. All right. So I clicked on it. Okay, now hold on. Hold on.
I believe in you. You can do this.
I got a swirl and circle. Oh, it's not me that needs help. It's my computer apparently. Come on. You know what? You know what? It might be easier. Oh, I almost said the name of it.
I was like, Aaron, no.
No. Oh my god, this description. Hold on. Oh, God. Oh, fine. I'll just do it. Oh, this one's shorter. Okay. Blank are humans. They cannot die. 17 years ago, the first appeared on a battlefield in blank. From then on, more of their kind are discovered within the human society. Their rarity in appearance means that, for experimental purposes, the government will generously reward anyone who captures one. In the present day, for what a certain high school... Wait, what? For what? Okay. In the present day, for what a certain high school student expects to be a typical summer holiday, his life is about to be turned unexpected. That's a very weird sentence, but okay.
His life got twisted upside down.
His life got twisted upside down. Oh, hey, yep, already guessed it. Mombak. A
Bunch of
djinn.
people guessed it.
We are reading a djinn. Oh, yeah, more people. Oh, wow, look at that. Wow, guys, good job. Very good job.
From what I understand, it is fairly well known in the last couple of months.
Yeah, it had. I didn't. The anime came out, and I heard like nothing about it. Like
I heard it mentioned like a bunch of times. I haven't got around to watching it myself, and I don't actually know anybody personally that's been watching it. But I keep hearing it mentioned.
I hear
so
it.
It's there, and it's not like one of those shows that like gets completely shoved to the side. But yeah.
So that is what we are reading next week. We are reading chapters. Hold on. Chapters 1 through 14, volume 1 through 3 with Random Sama 613. So that'll be awesome. That is what we are doing next week. Let's go ahead and give things. Shout out our stuff.
Our stuffs. Our faces.
Our peoples, our places.
Yes.
Yes. I'm Aaron. Our what?
People's, places, things.
Our people, places, things.
I got you.
I feel you. I feel you. I'm Aaron of Happily Aaron. If you want to check out my stuff, it's youtube.com/happilyaron. I do anime, weeb, trash stuff. I recently posted my first impression of Bungo Stray Dogs. It's my first video that I've done in a really long time, so if you want to go check it out and support it, I would very much appreciate it. You can also find all the previous manga pods on my YouTube channel. If you want to find me on any other social media, I'm Happily Aaron all across the everything.
Hi everybody, I'm Dodger. You might be watching this on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/dexteritybonus, but you can also find me on youtube.com/pressheart2continue. Right now, I am playing through Hustle Cat with the one and only Octopimp, and it's been a wild, wonderful ride. But I also have a video up there that's like my first impressions of a bunch of different shows that I've been watching this season. So if you would like to watch that, that would be great. Otherwise, I'm Dex Bonus on pretty much all social medias.
My name's Lou, and I'm from Lou Talks Anime, and I very rarely make videos now, but that's okay. Life is good. I am actually currently working on a tag video, or responding to a tag video, where I'm going to be rapping, which is something I haven't done in like a year.
Oh my god, I got challenged to that too, and I'm like, are you kidding? You don't want.
Aaron, I will ghost write your
do
verse.
weeb rap?
You want to help me?
Like...
Yeah, I got challenged to do a weeb rap, and I'm like,
guys, do weeb rap.
Unless it's Baby Got Back, I ain't got no flow.
And you just take Baby Got Back, but then change the words to Kuroko, and then you're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, Lou, if you want to help me write mine, I will be totally supportive.
I'm in. Let's go.
Let's do it.
So my social media stuff, Lou Talks Anime, basically everywhere, and Lou Talks Anime now for my channel. Done.
And hello, I am Arkada from Glass Reflection. I have a YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/grarkada. It's Glass Reflection Arkada. I'd like to say that I was Arkada across the board. However, apparently that name has been in use by a variety of different, like, Eastern companies or something. I don't know. So generally, I'm either GR Arkada on most things or Glass Reflection, as I am on Twitter. Though here on Twitch, I'm GR Arkada as well, and I normally have a gaming stream every Tuesday before MangaPod from 7 to 10 Eastern. So I ended about a half hour before we started here, which was pretty cool. And on my channel, I do general anime reviews. I went through Race and Konosuba last season most recently, and there may or may not be a review of a Gundam series coming out later this week. So,
is it a secret what Gundam series it is?
Tell you guys later, but I haven't told anybody exactly which Gundam series I'm reviewing.
I was gonna guess, but if it's a secret, then I don't want you to be like, yes, no.
I'm not gonna. I may or may not actually.
He will not nod or shake his head.
He will not confirm.
Not while the stream's live.
No
anyway.
point. No point in guessing if I'm not gonna get a confirmation or negative.
Get a confirmation after the stream.
After the stream.
Or you can type it in the Skype chat, or you can say it and I will confirm it in the Skype chat.
Gundam Seed. That's my guess. Best Gundam of all things.
I'm gonna guess Build Fighters.
Good, but no. One day.
Whoa, that was not in the Skype chat, sir. That was out loud. You spoiled it. Now everybody's gonna know that you're not doing.
Well, no, because Build Fighters. I've talked to some people that are like really into Gundam, and some people don't like to consider Build Fighters Gundam because it's not really Gundam, but it is Gundam because it's made by Sunrise and it has Gundam and Gunpla, but it's not. It's Build Fighters is weird, but no, it's not. It's not Build Fighters.
Yeah. Sweet. So that's coming out this week, you said?
It's assuming I don't die. But I also have a convention I'm going to this weekend. So under the assumption I finish it before going to the convention, it will be up.
Great.
Awesome. Sweet. Look forward to that. Thank you so much for coming on, sir. We always love having you on. You're a great guest as always.
Coming on.
Yeah, we'll have to have you back. Yeah. Thank
Hopefully
you.
I'll be able to come on one day when everybody is here. Because so far, every time I've come
When
on,
Yoku's
somebody's been gone.
Yeah. I know. It's sad. Someday we'll all be
One day.
there.
But it is not this day.
Thank you so much to chat both on Twitch and YouTube for watching this. If you're watching the VOD, thank you so much for watching. We will be here same time, same place next week on YouTube and Twitch, discussing Ajin Demi-Human, volumes 1 through 3, chapters 1 through 14 at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Bus time. I got, ever since I found out that PSD and PDT are not interchangeable, I don't know what to say. I just
Pacific time.
stumbled. I get stumbled upon. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you next week. Bye-bye!
Bye.
Laters.
Bye.
Oh gosh, hang on. Okay.
Oh gosh, oh no.
My buttons aren't